Hey everybody, this is Peter Tusick with Humanware coming at you with another snapshot tutorial video focusing on the new version 2.0 update to the Brilliant BI-X series. So this video will be valid for the 20 and 40X models. We're going to talk quickly about a couple of new user settings and a couple of new settings in the editor, in the keypad editor, that will increase your productivity. We're going to be looking at a setting to disable the Perkins keyboard, a prompt on USB connection, as well as disabling document indicators and a new recently saved option. So I'm going to show you how to find those. First thing we're going to look at are these new editor settings that are present. So again, I'm on the main menu. I'm going to press E to open my editor. I certainly, as we saw in a previous video, could press backspace and enter with E, or E with dots 7 and 8 to globally open the editor from anywhere. Once I'm in the editor, below open file, so again I have create and then open. If I just use my spacebar, I now have an option called recently saved. So again, this will be where you can see files that you have recently saved, so a recents area, where you can quickly access documents you may have been working with recently. So this is something, again, from our users. We've heard a lot of feedback that this is something that was wanted, and we certainly wanted to put this in. So this is a new option, recently saved. When you press enter on this, you will be placed in a list of your recently saved documents, and there is a close button, or you can always press space with E to get out of that list if you don't see a recently saved file there or something, or you accidentally invoke that command. You can certainly get out of it by pressing space with E. You also now have below recent commands in your editor settings area, and this is where you have the confirm delete option that has always been present. You now have something that says show text editor indicators, and this is the beginning and ending file indicators. We know on a 20 cell display, we've heard the feedback that sometimes we don't need to see that dots 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the beginning of a document, and 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 indicating the end of a document. So you can turn this off or on. So again, show editor indicators. If you turn this off, you're going to then, when you create a new file, your cursor will just be placed in cell 1, and you won't have that beginning of document or end of document symbol. Note that this only applies to the editor. So if you go, for instance, into the calculator, you're still going to see those symbols. If you're elsewhere in password fields and other things. This is solely for the editor and kind of when you're creating new files. If you want to see those new pieces. This will also apply to the braille editor, which is a long-awaited feature in version 2.0. The braille editor will also respect this setting. So when you turn those indicators off, you're going to be seeing that will apply to the braille editor as well. All right. Moving on, looking at, again, those two new settings kind of related to the editor, we're going to also look at a couple of new user settings that have been added, again, to increase productivity and certainly to address some concerns or needs of specific users that were brought to our attention. When we press O with space, which is our global command to get into the options menu, if I activate user settings, I now have a couple of new options that we did not have previously. Right below the option of Start in Terminal, which is where you can tell your Brilliant BI-X series to start in terminal mode so that it doesn't bring you just to the main menu, you now have an option that says Ask to Open USB Connection. If you turn this on, again, you can toggle the state by pressing a cursor router key. If you turn this on, anytime you plug a USB-C cable into your device, if it's hooked up to your computer, you will be asked if you want to open the USB terminal. So it's a quick way of getting there so that it becomes a plug and play Braille terminal. This is, again, very useful for somebody who is maybe using the device, they're doing a lot of demonstrations, or you're always on the move, you're switching between USB and Bluetooth, or you're doing different things. What it will do is makes it very simple. You don't have to go find terminal, activate USB, and do all of that. As soon as your device recognizes a USB-C cable is connected, it's going to prompt you and say, hey, do you want to open the USB terminal connection? Again, to increase productivity, just make it that much quicker for you to quickly get connected to your device. The other new option here, located right below Ask to Open USB Connection, is Disable Perkins in Terminal. Now, if you turn this on, you will disable your Perkins keyboard from working in your terminal mode. And this is something that a lot of our users want if they're using the device, and maybe it's in front of their keyboard, it's on their desk, and they don't want to accidentally bump those keys and activate all of whatever the Braille keyboard may do when you're in terminal mode, depending on the device you're using. So you can turn this off. Again, some users very much just want their display to be a reading display. They don't want the active Braille input keys. This does not mean that your thumb keys or your command keys will not work. You can certainly use those. This is specifically related to the Braille keyboard on the top of your device. So again, if you turn this on, your disable Perkins in terminal, your Braille keyboard, when you enter terminal mode, will not work. And this is something that has been on previous Brailliant units. So again, these 4 kind of settings we're looking at are all about increasing productivity, making it easier and more efficient. In addition to all these shortcuts we've added and other pieces, make it more efficient for you to use your device. All right, everybody, this has been a quick snapshot tutorial on a couple of new user settings and editor settings that we have added in version 2.0 for the Brailliant BI X series.